Alright guys, so today I'm going to be messing with the YZ85 in the Aprilia, and I'm going to see if I can fix the clutch issues that I've been having. We're going to toss in some plates that I've had marinating in oil, and hopefully that takes care of it. I think it might just be that the plates are a little dry in this one, and they're not picking up enough to separate properly. But we'll find out. Let's crack it open. Alright, I'm going to drain the oil just because I'm not exactly sure what the level is in here, and instead of making a huge mess, I'm just going to pour this out into a nice clean container and pour it back in when we're done. Get ready to release the shmoo. Alright, let's see if that's enough to prevent a huge spillage. Looks like it. Alright, try not to tear the gasket. There we go. And I can slam the oil drain plug back in so we don't create more mess than we need to. Alright, now I just got to pull this cover off and we'll get to these plates. Come on. Looks like I do have the stock plates in here. I thought I had the heavy duty ones in, but I might have changed them at some point. So it looks like we're putting the heavy duty ones back in. I didn't even look at them. They've just been sitting in oil. I mean, these do seem pretty... Oh, there's a couple dry spots in here. So that might have been our issue. I'm not sure. A little bit of diagnosing at this point, because I'm kind of out of other ideas. So there are some slight grooves in the basket, but they're pretty faint. Like, I can barely feel them with my finger. If, let's see if I can zoom in a bit, actually. So here you can kind of see, the slight ridging on the basket. I don't think that's enough to cause what we've been seeing. There's a little bit on the inner hub too, but I can barely feel it. If we're still having issues after this, I'll take this basket off and I'll take a file to this. I really hope we don't need a new basket. They're kind of expensive. But like I said, I don't really feel a huge surface inconsistency. They're pretty smooth. It's just like a very light scoring. Alright, and here are the plates that I'm putting in. I've been rotating them, like pulling them apart, getting oil all in between. And these have been sitting in oil for, I don't know, like 2 weeks at this point, so they should be good to go. So when you're putting the pressure plate in, it only goes and fits in one position. Right now it's not touching the friction plates at all. So just rotate it until you find, like that, where it goes in and seats against the plates themselves. I'm sure there's some visual indication here. I don't know. I just rotate it until it actually goes and seats. Alright, so my Haynes manual actually says to torque these to some ridiculous number, and I've actually snapped the heads off a few times. Now I just go barely over, you know, like, I don't know, 1/8 over tight, and seems to be just fine. Now let's get the cover back on. Take a look at the gasket real quick, make sure we didn't tear it getting it off. Gasket looks to be in perfect shape, other than being completely oil soaked. Alright, now we just pop the oil back in and give it a test. Hopefully that solves our issue of the juddering starts, and hopefully we can ride this bike around a little bit today. That'd be nice. So in that clip, the bike sounds super healthy at idle, but as soon as you really get onto it, you can kind of hear that like wah 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 that like really takes over as soon as you start to like get on the gas. And so I took it out on the street. As soon as I hit it, just wah wah, it just died immediately. It just bogged just right off the bat. So after that, I played with the clutch lever a little bit just to see where the engagement point was and to see if I could mess with if it was high, if it was low, if it was grabbing more or less, if I could slip it. It was all the same. Everything I did to it, it ran exactly the same. You can hear when I really get on it, it just breaks up immediately. It starts burbling and then chugging and then just doesn't want to carry on with power. It's not something I've ever encountered before. It's really weird. All right, we're back in here. So I'm gonna take these out again, which are still fairly hot. And I'm gonna put the stock ones back in. And I'm going to take off the edges of the basket. Let's see if I can actually get the basket out of here without taking the whole side cover off. Looks like I should be able to. Get these plates out. One little set left. Come here. There we go. Alright, I'm going to take a plunger out. I think this is a 19, yes? Yes. Come on, line up. There we go. Alright, so you can see I've taken a couple swipes at this and it's revealed the high spots here. I'm going to go around and I'm going to clean up every edge of this, and I'm not going to show everything because it's going to take a while, but you can kind of see on this one, some of these are actually a little bit worse than I thought they were. So let's clean this up, throw the stock plates in, and we'll give this a go again. Alright guys, so I cleaned up the edges of the basket as best as I could. There's still a few little marks and little pits, but for the most part, pretty clean. And then I went and hit this with some parts cleaner and hosed it all out so I didn't get any shavings back in the engine. So let's try this with the stock clutch, see if that makes a difference. Oh right, I didn't have a file to actually hit the inside of these. Nothing I had would fit, so just gonna run it. Hopefully these aren't as deep as the ones that were on the basket itself. Something that I was noting that may have come into play is I think, yeah, the stock tabs are slightly smaller than the HD tabs, these little things, the little ears. So maybe that was contributing to some of the difference I was seeing between the stock and the heavy duty clutch. Not sure, but honestly, just trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. this issue's got me pretty stumped, guys. So right now it's on the stock clutch, and with the mods that I did to the clutch basket to shave down the ridges, it's got stock clutch springs and it's got the stock jetting. So everything is pretty much stock about this bike right now, and for whatever reason it just wants to die as soon as it has any load on it. Like as soon as the clutch starts to engage, RPMs just dive. Like I can rev this bike up to probably 6,000 and still dump it, and it'll still just boom. So I pulled the plug, and compared to the other ones that I'd been pulling out of this previously, it actually looks like it's in a much better jetting condition, even at the stock settings. It's not overly rich, it's not overly lean, it's like right in that middle, nice chocolatey kind of color. So I think the jetting's fine. From leak down testing, we don't have any major air leaks. It's timed properly. I'm kind of running out of things to throw at it. I'm about to just pull this engine out, put it back on the bench, and start, digging into it again. Although I don't know what part of this would cause that. So if any of you guys have any ideas on this, throw them down in the comments. I will try anything at this point. I mean, this bike's got new almost everything, like from reeds, spark plug, seals, piston, cylinder, pretty much everything. So maybe I got something messed up when I was putting the cave salves together, but it doesn't really feel like it. Because if you get past some of that hitching, it wants to take off. Like it feels like it's all down low, something really weird down low. But yeah, now I'm just rambling. So once again, I'm a little out of ideas right now. I'm going to keep thinking on it, see if I can look up anything online. But if you have any ideas, throw them down in the comments. I want to hear them. Thanks for hanging out with me in the garage, and I'll see you on the next one.